Hi everyone, welcome to Koan's Kitchen. As a manga fan, I have to make something from Shokugeki no Soma. So for today's video, I'm going to share with you guys how I make the thick pork roast, or also known as the gotcha pork roast. So let's start making it. The ingredients for this recipe include 1 kilogram of potatoes, 150 grams of mushrooms, 2 onions, 4 rosemary stems, and 600 grams of bacon strips, which is approximately 2 packs of bacon. For the sauce, you need 250 ml of red wine, 50 ml of mirin, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, and some butter. For garnish, I'm following the anime version and use watercress, but feel free to use something else for garnish such as parsley. To make this dish, first prepare the mashed potato. Wash, peel and slice the potatoes into approximately 1 cm thick. Then put them on a plate because we're going to steam the potatoes instead of boiling them. You don't really want too much water in your mashed potatoes. All you need is a thin layer of water from the steam to cook your potatoes fully. As for peeling the potatoes, there are many ways of doing it. You can simply use a peeling knife, or you can use the method here. First, cut the top and the bottom of the potato, then cut off the skin on the side. I think this way is the quickest, although it does require some technique and experience so that you will not cut off too much of the flesh. This method is also good if you're making fondant potatoes, which I may make a video about it in the future. I know there is also a popular trick online that teaches people to boil the potatoes and shock them with ice water afterwards. Ideally, that method has the least wastage, but it actually doesn't work for all types of potatoes, and really when you think about it, there are just a lot more steps. I have tried this method a few times myself with different types of potatoes, and I decided not to recommend this to anyone. Now, after slicing the potatoes and putting them on the plate, steam them on high heat for 20 to 25 minutes. While you wait, dice the onions and the mushroom. An easy way to dice the onions after you peel the outer skin off is to cut them in half, then slice the half with the knife pointing to the root and cut as close to the root as you can. After that, cut 1 to 2 slices horizontally, then grab the onion and cut vertically to dice. For the mushrooms, give them a quick rinse to remove the dirt, dry them with a kitchen towel, hold the stem and wiggle a bit to remove the stem. Now for this recipe, I do recommend keeping the stem and dice the stem as well. For the cap, I like to cut it in half horizontally first, then I dice them into smaller cubes. Now the potatoes should be ready or ready soon. After you take them out from the steaming pot, I recommend using a fork to mash the potatoes in a separate bowl. Now, it is an optional step for you to saute the onions and the mushrooms with just a bit of butter before mixing them together with the mashed potatoes. With this optional step, you can enhance the flavor of the dish. But if you don't feel like it, you can just add the onions and the mushrooms directly into the mashed potatoes and mix. After you mix the three ingredients together, push them onto the side of the bowl to help with the cooling down process. While you wait for the mashed potatoes to cool down, prepare a roasting pan with a rack or simply a baking tray. Arrange 6 strings of kitchen twine to form a net on top. To form this net, as in this video, the left string goes from top to bottom, under, above and under to the 3 strings perpendicular to it. The middle string goes above, under and above. The right string goes under, above and under. Now arrange the bacon strips. There is no best way of arranging them because all bacon strips come in different thickness and sizes, so here it is just a reference. First, line 7 bacon strips on the net and each bacon should have some parts overlapping. Then, on each of the 2 shorter ends, line 3 bacon strips perpendicular to the 7 strips. Again, some parts are overlapping. These 13 bacon strips form the base of the fig pot roast. Now, the mashed potato should be cool enough to touch. Put the mashed potato in the middle and shape them with your hand. Then, put 4 bacon strips on top. After that, put the 3 bacon strips on each shorter end up to wrap the mashed potato and put 1 more bacon strip on top to seal. Now push the 7 bacon strips on the side up and wrap the mashed potato by tying the kitchen twines. After you tie all the kitchen twines, put in the 4 rosemary stems below the twines. Remember to cut off the extra bits of the kitchen twine after tying them up. Now, preheat the oven to 190 degrees Celsius with fan. If you're not using a fan oven, please refer to the description for the temperature conversion. Once the oven is heated up, put in the fig pot roast and first bake for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, turn the pot roast sideways and bake for another 15 minutes so that the bottom will be crispy as well. And after you turn the fig pot roast, start making the sauce. If you sauté the onion and the mushroom earlier, you can use the same pan. Pour in 250 ml of red wine and heat it on medium-high heat until it reduces approximately half of the original volume. Then, add in the mirin, the 2 tablespoons of soy sauce and a knob of butter. If you don't have mirin, you can just add in 1 tablespoon of sugar. Now reduce the sauce until it thickens and keep stirring. After the sauce is ready, the fig pot roast should be done as well. Transfer the fig pot roast to a plate. Remove all the kitchen twines with a pair of scissors. Remove the rosemary as well. You may be surprised why my baking tray is relatively clean. It is because I changed the baking tray when I turned the fig pot roast sideways, so that it will not drench in the liquid on the tray. You may do the same if you have a second baking tray, or you can avoid this problem if you use a roasting pan with rack instead from the very beginning. Now, after you remove all the twines and the rosemary, pour the red wine reduction on top. Finally, put some watercress on top and you can serve. I'm cutting a slice of it now for you to see the inside. I think watercress is a good match with the dish because the slight bitterness of the watercress actually helps balance out the high fat content of this dish. And don't worry if you find gaps between the bacon strips. It is quite normal because bacon strips shrink as they cook. I make this dish several times in the same way, and it's always a gamble on how much the bacon strips shrink in the end. The only way of avoiding it is to add more bacon strips if you don't mind. In any case, I'm happy to serve this fake pot roast, or as what Soma says in the manga, osomatsu. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Comment down below and let me know what you think about this recipe or your experience making it. Please also like and subscribe to this channel for more cooking or baking videos in the future. See you next time in Koan's Kitchen.